episode of RatG TV with your hosts, Zeus and the Wellandwingnut. And they thought I was the crazy one.
Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
I'd say may the force be with you and mean it, but only dorks watch Star Wars. The real folks watch Star Trek. Little Jim Cornette to start off the show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a minute, but we are back. It is May the 4th, and yeah, I had to start off with a little shade there. Hey, you know, I've come over to the dark side. Like I'm still a Trek guy at heart, but I have lots of love for Star Wars. Like,
you have moved more in that direction than I have in the other.
Yeah. But hey, that's
which is to say not at all.
Did.
If anything, I fell backwards.
You fell backwards. Yeah, I know. You.
No, honestly, I've just never watched it.
Really?
I really have no opinion to form. I've really just the few seconds I have seen of a few things, like obviously the movies from the 80s,
right.
Probably less of the TV shows. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, you were
just
never as much the TV sci-fi guy, though, were you?
No, I'm really not a huge sci-fi guy.
Yeah, but you keep it to more movies and stuff when it came to sci-fi
yes.
and books and stuff. Yeah. Well, this is the day for the ultimate sci-fi western, if you will. I mean, they put the fantasy and science fantasy, and that's Star Wars. It is Star Wars Day, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all. Hope you're all having a great day. What are you doing, folks? Are you a regular Star Wars fan? Do you watch? Do you partake? Are you a Padawan? Are you a master? Are you a Sith Lord? What is going on in your world when it comes to Star Wars? Let us know in the comments. Feel free to jump on. We got a lot to talk about today. And what we're doing today is we are ranking who we would like to be trained by the most in the ways of the Force. Now, I mean, this is a good one because there are a lot of Jedi, and not just Jedi, but Force users out there, because a Jedi is a rank. It does, like, there are many Force users out there. A lot of people think
sensitive.
Yeah, exactly. But there are there's the Night Sisters. There's I don't know. There's Omega. There's clones. I mean, there's Ahsoka, who never made the rank of Jedi, you know, because she dropped out. So who would it be for you? Let us know in the comments, and we will let everybody else know. Hello, Meredith. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Enjoy. Meredith, have the day off over at the Hilton, I see. Qui-Gon, he was in touch with the Force, and you know he knew where the good Ghana was. I think it means ganja, and yeah, I think he does too. Qui-Gon's a great one. I don't know if Qui-Gon was on either of our lists. You're gonna have to wait and see. We'll get them started though, like we do every week. Steve, you start us off with your list and your top 5. Who would it be from the Star Wars universe that you would want to train you in the ways of the Force?
I just want to say first off, I'm sorry, I cannot answer any questions about my little subtitle there for legal reasons. My lawyer said I am not allowed to talk about it. So,
I mean, we knew this about him. And we let him be the co-host anyways. We're sorry, George. We really are. I'm still good though, right? Like, I'm not banned by proxy.
My list.
So who's number 5 on your list of Force masters for you?
This was actually a last minute ad. I had someone else on my list, and I'm trying to think of who it was, but Yeah, so my number 5, I wanted to pick someone who was a Jedi, but who was also ruthless. And, Pong Krell was definitely a ruthless leader. He was a general of the Grand Republic Army. He willingly sacrificed his own troops more than once.
Yeah. And who took him out? Like, he got taken out in the Clone Wars, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he got taken out maybe by his own guys. Whoops. Not by that guy. Pong Krell, though, is someone I didn't know about until I watched much later in the Clone Wars. But yeah, one of those characters when I was watching, I thought he was going to turn into a Sith. Honestly.
Yeah, he's definitely borderline.
Definitely.
Number 4 is you got a little sneak peek there. Ranked by many as one of the greatest Sith Lords ever. But like many, he was ultimately killed by his apprentice, said to have had the power to keep the ones he loved from dying.
Wow.
The apprentice, of course, I was talking about was Darth Sidious.
Right there, we see Darth Sidious right there. Have I ever told you this the tragedy of Darth Plagueis?
He'd be plagiarizing, but
I would be plagiarizing. Well, hey, I don't like to force it.
Yeah. Number 3, again, one of those guys that was, very, very borderline, and eventually did switch to the dark side. Darth Raven, of course, former Jedi Knight, turned during the Mandalorian Wars.
And are we going to get him? Like, have they confirmed that he's going to become part of the actual canon now? Because
you know what? I meant to look that up right before we went live, but yeah, because when I was reading up about him earlier, that was part of the article. So
yeah, because he is part of that extended, and it's never been confirmed. But I love this character too. It's such a he's like the ultimate anti-hero or anti-vigilante, if you will, in the Star Wars universe. He's like the Wolverine or Batman of Star Wars, honestly. And I think George Lucas would be smart to add them in, or Disney would be smart to add them back in. But yeah, that's going to be on Disney, not George Lucas anymore.
History is often told by the victors, and the other side gets painted in a bad light sometimes. And a lot of people thought, the Jedi were the enemy, and that would make the Empire the good guys. And growing up, I definitely was I had more love for the Jedi side, but I mean, Vader was. If you want to learn from one of the best, that you want to learn from Vader.
And I still remember having the toy where the red lightsaber would pop out from his wrist. Basically, you'd have to slide it up and down, how it was hidden in there. Great stuff. I wish I still had that. It's probably worth a few pennies these days. Vader, though, you got a lot of bad guys on your list. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even your good guys are kind of bad.
But I'm gonna redeem myself with my number 1. Trained by him, I would like to be. Yeah, Yoda was badass in his day. That's the one. From the second they start, Disney had the big takeover. I said the Yoda origin story is the movie I want to see. But
I have a bit of a hot take. I think. Maybe it's not a hot take. Is the fall of the Republic Yoda's fault? Is it all his and Mace Windu's fault?
I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made.
Because, look, he doesn't really win at the end. Like, he has to leave in disgrace and goes to Dagobah, and I mean, leaves those younglings to die and fend for them. Like, I mean, he turned tail and ran, and then ignored all the things with Anakin. Could have steered him in the right direction. Could have taken other means, whatever. I don't know. I think him and Mace Windu have a lot of answering to do for that. And I think Palpatine saw all that and just manipulated just right. I think Yoda is not the wisest. I'm sorry. Send all your hate mail to the Wellandwingnut. We just lost every viewer right there. They're like, that's it. We're out. We're out. Right? No, everyone kind of jumped on at that point. I'm sorry.
He was.
I don't hate Yoda. No, that's a good list, man. And you can't go wrong with that. I honestly had Yoda on my list too until I saw yours. But yeah. We're not going. Well done, sir. I approve. I do. That's horrible. That was horrible. That's so horrible. Before we get to my list, let's do a quick TikTok because we got a few of those today. So because it is May the 4th, I figured I'd share this with everybody.
Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card. Hands? Yeah, me either. And look, I just got to meet the president. He gave me these aviator glasses. Yeah, I'm open to questions, although no Star Wars questions, please. Well, you know, I called him Mr. President. He said, you can call me Joe. And I said, can I call you Joe B-1 Kenobi? And he liked that.
Joe B-1 Kenobi, I like it.
Right, Joe B-1. I like it as well. Not bad, Mark. Not bad. We have to meet him at some point in our lifetime. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, when my son had just first started going to cons, he was at Fan Expo in Toronto, and
yeah. You're not finishing your sentence then. Yeah, well, the Force was strong with that one. That's all right.
It is.
It's good for audio. Yeah, Mark Hamill's the GOAT for our generation for sure. All right, so here's my list. Number 5, I kind of had to do some outside of the box thinking, and I don't know if this is a bad person or a good person, but I had to go with Mother Talzin from the Night Witches. I mean, she was a Dathomirian. Without her, we don't get Darth Maul or Savage Oprah. I can't speak at all today. It's one of those days. But she's a badass. She's the head of the Night Sisters, and she controls that weird type of magic as well that the Night Sisters have. And not only that, she also can wield the Force. So she's going to teach you magic and teach you the Force at the same time. And, you know, that's never a bad thing.
Yeah, I considered putting her on my list.
Well, I'm happy you didn't, sir. I'm very happy for your sexist leanings in your very male-oriented list. Shit,
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't even notice that. I was like, damn, but yeah. Don't feel bad. I got you here. Taslin is a badass, right? That's what I'm saying, Keith. Who are you getting trained by, Keith? Who's on your list? Number 4 on my list, I had to go, you know, one of the things that got me into Star Wars, like got me more into it and more interested in it, was the Clone Wars cartoons, and then Rebels, and, you know, the Bad Batch, which just finished, which was awesome. But Rebels was so good. And Freddie Prinze Jr. playing Kanan Jarrus, the one who teaches Ezra Bridger. This is probably the most iconic moment from maybe not all of Rebels, but at least definitely from Kanan Jarrus's story arc. And just so good. And I mean, such a tragic story of, he was a young Padawan who watched his master get slain down in front of him during Order 66. 66? Yes. Yeah.
Execute Order 66.
Well, I'm thinking of Bad Batch. I think Bad Batch was originally like Batch 99. So mix it up. Anyways, but yeah, badass
They were
character.
Gretzky clones.
Did you watch Bad Batch?
They were the great ones.
Yeah.
No, I'm still picking away at Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, that's hard though because Clone Wars is long.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
It definitely is.
Not the show. I meant just me finding the time to actually watch it.
Oh, Keith, I almost chose Star Killer and Darth Magus. Which one's Darth Magus? We'll have to let us know. All right, so and then up next we got on my list, and you probably thought this was going to be my number one. Most people did if they know me at all. I had to go with Miss Ahsoka Tano. That's probably this is my favorite Star Wars character right now. She is. I mean, it's slipping a little bit. I mean, because there's been some really good stuff going on in Star Wars. But she still holds strong as my number one overall favorite. And I mean, if you're going to get trained in the ways of the Force, I like someone who's so strong in the Force that she's so strong of character that she can walk away from the Jedi Council. Like she turned her back on them, not the other way around. So, yeah, I give her props for that for sure. And up next, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, how can it not be Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, there's part of me that didn't. I honestly wrestled with this a bit because I'm like, he didn't do too great training Anakin and keeping him on the straight and narrow. He did great in teaching him how to kill.
Yeah.
And then he did a good job teaching Luke the same in a very short amount of time somehow.
I think he took the high ground with this one.
I see what you did there. Hello there. Well played, sir. Well played. But yeah, Obi-Wan. I'm surprised you didn't have him on yours. Magus is from the Old Republic. Totally evil dude. Does it say Malgus? I don't have my glasses on, so I can see shit. But Malgus looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that from the Old Republic? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. And then finally, you can't have this list without having the Great Hope himself. That's right. I went with Luke. Use the Force, Luke. The reason why I put Luke as number one is because
he kissed his sister.
You stole my line. No. So two ducks are in a pond. The one duck looks, the other one says quack. The other guy said, I was going to say that. Thank you. No, Luke to me is the ultimate Mary Sue character. Like people want to call, and I don't mean it derogatory. I just mean Luke becomes the most powerful and knows almost everything about the Force with the least amount of training as we've seen of anybody in any of the movies, and that's including Rey. Rey basically trained for like a couple years with Luke and with Leia, where Luke trained for like however long it took him to get on the Millennium Falcon to the Death Star with Obi-Wan, and then for 2 weeks in Dagobah with Yoda. He's like, nah, peace, I'm good. And Yoda let him
practice. We're talking about practice.
I mean, sure, but practice. That was good. That was good. I could see him. Now I want to see Allen Iverson as Luke Skywalker. But really, though, Luke Skywalker, honestly, great character. Love the character.
And a lot of people hated on Last Jedi for a lot of reasons. And the way Luke goes out, I remember being one of them. Part of what I loved about The Last Jedi was seeing Luke the way we did. And because that was I try not to read a lot of spoilers and a lot of fan theories and stuff like that leading up to the new trilogy, because I just didn't want anything spoiled for me. I wanted to be fresh and new, like it was for me in the originals when there was no internet. And I remember thinking, like when he threw that lightsaber, I died laughing and fucking. I remember people saying how much they hated that scene and just the path he took. And I loved it because that was the one scenario that I thought, they're not going to take it in that direction. So I like that.
Yeah, and he hated it. Like Mark Hamill himself hated it.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
He came around later and said, "Hey, it worked." But hey man, that's the way it is. So there you go. That's those are our lists. What do you guys think? Let us know who are your favorites. Am I wrong? Is Luke Skywalker not the biggest Mary Sue? He may be the biggest, like, I hate saying the term Mary Sue, but he may be the biggest Mary Sue in the history of any story, though, because I don't know anyone who masters their power and goes on that hero journey and achieves that almost ultimate power with less training.
Donald Trump.
What's that?
Donald Trump.
Ooh. He's been trying for you. I started off really good and then I lost it.
I'm sorry. Sorry to all our Trump supporters. Send your hate mail to wellandwingnut@gmail.com.
Before we get on to the news and everything, I do want to thank our sponsor of the show, folks. We wouldn't be on here, wouldn't be able to pay the bills if not for the fine folks that help give us our internet and that can do the same for you, folks. If you're looking for a way to save on your bill and you don't want to skimp out on the services, look where Steve's pointing. That's right, DocNet. Go to docnet.ca. Let them know that RatG TV sent you and have them come to your house and install internet or cable and maybe even phone. That's right. People still use landlines. You need that. Hey, if you need your business set up, DocNet has got you set to serving Southern Ontario and a lot of Canada as well. Just go on to docnet.ca and see if there is a dealer in your area. DocNet, connecting the world to your home. Docking.
May the force be with you.
I'll take training from Palpatine. He seems like a great mentor.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? Because he was such a great student as well. Love it. Love it. Go and check out the Angler Files on YouTube, especially if you like your fishing. Niagara fishing, some of the best fishing in the area. And now that we've done the DocNet, it's time for our next TikTok of the day, and this one's a little bit longer. Steve, you like your jokes, right? You like your dirty jokes, dark jokes. So does Nana.
What do you call two lesbians in a closet? A liquor cabinet.
God, Brian.
Hey, Mom. There's 4 men on the Titanic when it hits the iceberg. The waiter says we need to get to the lifeboats. The teacher says, what about the kids? The lawyer says, fuck those kids. The priest says, do you think we have time?
Oh my God, Brian.
So there's a woman laying on the beach with no arms and no legs, and this guy's running down the beach and sees her crying. He runs over to her and says, oh my God, what's going on? She's like, I've never been hugged by a man. So he hugs her. The next day he's running on the beach, and there she is again, the woman with no arms and no legs, right? She's like, I've never been kissed by a man. So he gives her a nice kiss, and she's all happy. The next day he's running, there she is again, laying on the beach. He's like, what's the matter? You're crying again. She's like, I've never been fucked by a man. So he picks her up and throws her in the ocean.
Now you're fucked.
The last one I've heard before. That's a classic.
I was gonna say I remember that one from school. I really should have went over and previewed all those before I put them on the air. But hey, welcome to the internet, folks. That's what we do here. And what else we do here? We also do the news. Keith saying that last one is a classic. Also, go down to Freak Show Comics. Go get yourself some comics down there. Go see Keith and fine folks down there, or order online. Just support your local dealer. Weed dealers or comic dealers. They all need love. So it's that time of the day again where we. Oh, wait. We jumped the gun on the news, didn't we? Because before we do news, you usually do your thing. Oh my God. It's we've been off the air for so long. I had forgotten because every week Steve does Steve's 5-second movie review. And I was like, how do we have an extra TikTok video? And that's why, because we didn't do that.
Yeah, we were off for a few weeks. We've paid all our fines, so we're back.
You're welcome, brother. And honestly, it was more of we weren't allowed to come on the air since the last time Steve came on and got naked. We're really, really sorry. He promises he won't do that again. But much like Bobby Lee, you can't control this guy. You just can't. You're going to see his butt or his penis at some point. All right. So, Steve, what do you have for your 5-second movie review this week?
Yeah, I was trying to pick between a few movies that I've watched in the last couple weeks. Of course, Unfrosted came out yesterday on Netflix to mixed reviews as being nice, I guess. But I decided to go the horror route and review a movie that I watched called Late Night with the Devil. It's a Shudder original. It had a limited release, I believe, at the theaters, but it will be coming to Shudder soon. So look for that.
And that's Dave DeMulchin?
Yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love him. I'm starting to see him in everything, and he's really, really getting up there. And we're seeing him in everything. Great movie, he says. So there's already someone that's like that. So, all right, Steve, why don't you explain to the people what happens in the 5-second movie review? I normally do it, but it's your thing, so you tell everybody.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about critics, and I try not to critique the movies more, that I try and give the people a little insight to both my brain and my take on the movie. So, and Ryan gives me 5 seconds to do it instead of boring you with some long ass review that you might not end up agreeing with anyways.
Like, you're already over time. What the fuck, man? I said 5 seconds.
I tried to make that as short as I could. We need to get that Micro Machine guys on the payroll.
Exactly. Well, if you're ready, buddy, why don't we get things started here with everybody's favorite segment on the internet? It's time for Steve's 5-second movie review by Steve. Well, I got above the. You're not supposed to get above the. Oh,
right.
Hello, baby. Hello, my darling. Hello. Where's the roof? All right, so Steve, we are very serious, Aaron Parks. I want you to know that. That's what
this is hard-hitting news.
And so, because it is so hard-hitting, and because we are so serious here, we do have the best technology in the world when it comes to this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board using that best tech in basically what money can afford these days. And I'm going to put that up on the board. And in that time, Steve will give his review. Steve, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Can I get 5 seconds on the board? All right. 5 seconds on the board. You may begin now.
Whether you like this movie or not, you're going to be left with one hell of a feeling.
With time to spare, even. Nice. All right. Well, all right. I need more context, buddy. I need more context.
It's partial found footage, or it's, people are saying found footage because this movie takes place in the 70s. It's a talk show. This guy's got like the #1 talk show on TV in the 70s. It takes a bit of a ratings dip, and this is sweeps week, so they decide to have this show on Halloween where he has a bunch of people that can talk to the dead. This little girl who is partially possessed. Not to give away too much of the movie, but yeah, I knew a little bit of both the movie going in. I thought it was really well done. I know that a lot of CG or AI and CGI was used to complete this movie during COVID. There was some controversy over that. But all said, yeah, it was pretty tense, which is hard to get that feeling out of me watching a movie. And the end, I thought I had this one figured out, and then the ending it's one of those movies that just leaves you just jaw dropped. Not a movie you can watch a second time the same, much like your Usual Suspects or
Oh, really?
once you've seen the ending, it's a mind fuck, to pardon my French.
No way. Nice. So what's your score out of 5 then?
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Damn, yo, 4.5 out of 5. Wow, there you go, folks. If you're looking for
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, Late Night with the Devil, and this is on Shudder TV.
Yeah, coming to Shudder soon.
Oh, nice. Wonder how you got to see it so early.
It was at the theater.
Oh,
in a partial limited release.
Fair. Go see it, and Key says 100% agree. Right on, man. Right on. Well, there you go. Damn, Shudder. You better order Shudder so you can watch this Late Night with the Devil, or watch it however else you may watch it later.
God bless you.
Thank you. Probably won't though. So before we hit the news, instead of doing the last TikTok of the night at the very end of everything, I'm just going to hit it now. I've been tagged in this video on TikTok. I don't know. I don't want to over exaggerate and say hundreds of times. Probably 25 times I've been tagged in this fucking video on TikTok. It's a long one. I'm sorry. But if I had to endure it, so do you. And it's, you know what? It's nice people need to know about renovating, and it's always nice to know the proper equipment to use. So thank you for tagging me in this. Ladies.
White cock or black cock is right for you. Let's talk about it. It's important to know that both will get the job done, but depending on your needs and what you need to fill, one is definitely better than the other. In my case, I will be choosing the black cock for the front. If you are working with a large gap or hole, you will see that this is going to work beautifully. Now for the back door, my preference is a white cock. As you can see here, the slit that I need to fill is much smaller. Now I know some of you may be thinking it's a little excessive to have 2 different cocks to get the job done, but I am all about the max efficiency in the shortest amount of time. It's also important to have the right size tip for the hole that you need to fill. Even if your cock is well used and pretty beat up like this one, don't worry, it will still work. Now the black cock is fairly new to me, but I did decide to go with a larger tip due to the size of the hole that I am working with today. You're going to want to hold it firmly and apply light pressure to the tip, and then gently rub it into the crease or hole that you are wanting to fill. It can be a little nerve-wracking at first, but don't be afraid to really get in there. Go ahead and really work it into the area, as any excess mess can be cleaned up at a later time. Once you have filled the hole, you're going to want to take your finger and gently rub along everywhere you have put the cock. I advise that you use a glove for protection. Fortunately, I didn't have one handy and I was eager to get the job done, so I went ahead and went without. Not afraid, I think this gives a very smooth finish. Pro tip, you're always going to want to keep a rag around if you're not using a glove, just to clean the excess mess off of your hands. Sometimes it gets a little sticky when it gets hard. Now that it is hard, I am very satisfied with the result.
As we used to say back in our day, if it don't fit, wiggle it a little bit. I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't want to be tagged in that no more. And I realize me pleading probably is going to have the opposite effect, but Aaron, not only was I tagged in that, I was sent that as well. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about the news. Hey, you know what happens in the news? Because we already did the open. I'm not doing it again. Steve talks about dead people.
Usually.
Yes, it is that time, Dr. Death. But this week we've been off a few weeks, but we can't get them all.
No, and we apologize for no picture for the first one, but if you're a fan of Survivor and watched in the very first season, which was 2000 in Borneo, at the ripe old age of 87, so she lived a great life, was Sonia, the first survivor ever voted out of Survivor. If you remember watching that one, that was the one that Richard Hatch won and didn't pay his taxes and ended up going to jail for a few months over it.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually watched. Maybe I did watch the first season. I don't remember her. What'd she get booted off for?
Oh, and she was the first one voted out ever.
Yeah, what was she voted out for? They didn't like her.
Well, I mean, someone's got to go first. Someone's got to be that person.
Well, who? All right. Well, who was the first one to go next on this list? I don't know. That's horrible.
That was 23 years ago. Don't ask me questions like that.
Who's next on?
And again, someone that you might not remember for a while, because even though the show is still going, a lot of us probably haven't watched it in a very, very long time. But Larry Dalrymple. I'm going with Dalrymple. One of the barflies often seen at Moe's Tavern. He has become the 12th Simpsons character to be killed off in over 30 years. I don't have the number of episodes that he actually appeared in, but he had exactly 20 words over his time on The Simpsons.
He's actually talked?
Yeah, right? That's what I say.
Wow.
It must have been like one episode.
Remember they announced it the day they announced this, and they're like, beloved Simpsons character killed off. And I'm like, who the fuck is Larry?
If you watch the episode, the guys, from the bar attend the funeral and are asked to say a few words about him and his love for fishing by the widow, and they realized they didn't really know him, so they embark on
neither did we.
They embark on a journey to his favorite fishing spot to scatter his ashes. Spoiler. I didn't watch it. I just read the synopsis.
That was going to be the first episode that I was actually going to watch from the last 25 years.
I watch the Treehouse of Horror episode every year, and that's it.
Do you still watch
maybe
it every year?
The other odd one if I just don't want to stare at Netflix for 45 minutes wondering what there is to watch and then just going to bed anyways.
No, Aaron, I don't remember him or the episode. I didn't even know he had a name. His name was Larry. His name was Robert.
Larry Dalrymple.
Does anybody get that reference? His name was Robert. He had big man titties.
We'll just call you Richard.
Bear or man? What is bear or man? I keep seeing these. There's some kind of bear meme that's going around that I haven't seen yet, but I keep seeing people talk about it. I don't know. Tracy. All right. And back to the no, I don't know. I don't know. Please tell me what is the bear story? Please, Aaron, enlighten us. Does anybody else know what the bear story is? The bear memes. Well, I tell you what, there is if your daughter was stuck in the woods. Oh, I don't want to play this game no more. Would I rather her be with a bear or a man? Like protected by, like alone with, be with, like sexually?
The show just took a really weird turn. We apologize, everyone.
No, I didn't have that reference.
I feel like I need more context, but I also feel like the more context I get, the closer we get to being permanently banned. Alone with. Oh, well, alone with a bear or a man. Well, The bear is more threatening.
The bear is probably 98% going to kill you. The guy is only like 95%.
Well, I would even say with that, like,
just
I don't know. Daughter stuck in the woods, nothing sexual, sickos. What? We don't know. We need context. Don't put that on us.
I'm talking about bears and shit.
Like this took a right turn, left turn, even. Speaking of, oh wow, this is unfortunate.
This is the weirdest would you rather I've ever been asked. And I worked with this one kid. That's why I know what docking is, because of that kid. Josh, you know who you are. He doesn't work there anymore. Screw him.
Unfortunate choice of words. All right, and our next story, which is an unfortunate timing, Dan Schneider, who was outed in the Quiet on Set documentary as having some very, very weird fetishes and just being weird around all the kids on set, is suing the producers and saying it's a defamation of character. Shut up, Dan. No, I don't know. You know what? Like they say, you're innocent until proven guilty, but there's a lot of people coming out, a lot of kids coming out, or adults now that were kids that are speaking out about this. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good for you, Dan. Not looking good at all. Bear 100%. You would leave your daughter with the bear 100%?
That's what I'm saying. The bear is probably more safe.
What? Is the bear, is it a mother bear? Are there cubs around? Is it a hungry bear?
There's other questions, but I'm not saying them.
The shit pocket needs to get face fucked with a pineapple. You're talking about the bear? No, we're talking about Dan. Yeah, man. We're all over the place this week, folks. It's been a few weeks since we've been off. Dan Schneider sues the Quiet on Set. Yeah, Dan Schneider is a piece of shit, and from all accounts, and yeah, it's not looking good for him. But you know, you never know. Maybe with with proper rehabilitation, he can remake himself. I'm trying for a segue here, honestly, but there's no way else to segue into that. Here it is.
Ben Richards is coming back to the big screen. He's going to be played by Glenn Powell. Of course, Running Man, the novel written by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King, came out in 1986. It was a flop. It had a $32 million budget. It only made $38 million.
See, and I remember it being super popular when I was a kid. At least the marketing was done like all over the place.
This is coming to us from Edgar Wright. So,
all right. And Glenn Powell's okay. Like he's all right. He's all right. Who's going to play Richard Dawson's character and who's going to play Jesse Ventura's character?
I don't know, but they're going to kiss everybody.
I think that's the only time I've never seen Richard Dawson kiss every single one in front of him. He would have been Me Too, right?
He tried it with Arnold and Jesse Ventura, like at the table reading, but they weren't having it.
What was the bolus? It was the bola.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's too funny. You know what else is funny? This isn't a thing, but I want to ask for something. Like this isn't a story, but I saw.
This isn't another Would You Rather, is it?
No, but I saw a meme online, and now it makes me want this to be a movie, and I've never wanted anything more, like any other remake more in my life than this. Please. Let's have John Cena play Ernest and just and not even like reboot the series, have it like it never ended. Like he just picks up and it's the next turn. He's already gone to jail. He's already saved Christmas. You know,
He's been scared stupid.
He's already been scared.
This one time at camp.
That's a different movie.
That was the first one, though.
Except for he'll have to change his language. Like he'll have to figure in how to get the "You Can't See Me" in it. But
know what I mean?
So, yeah. You know what I mean? You can't see me, but you know what else you can't see?
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss was recently doing an interview, and she said that don't put Invisible Man 2 out of the realm of possibility. They are talking about it. It's in early talks, but I mean, the 2020 movie made $144 million. So I mean, why would you not cash in on a sequel? And it was a great movie too. So
and they had a like a shoestring budget on that first one too.
It was only $7 million.
Yeah, which is great. Like, but that's just the thing with an Invisible Man movie. What are the special effects?
Right
there he is. There he is. I love it. It's great. Recently, Chris Hemsworth came out and apologized to fans for Thor: Love and Thunder, saying that he let the comedy and the improv get too much. Like he leaned into it way too heavy in that movie, and he lost sight of the character. But RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., come out. I don't know if this was in defense. He just said this a day later. And he's like, said that Chris Hemsworth's Thor had the most complex psyche out of all of us Avengers and had the greatest story arc out of all of them. And I don't know that he's wrong, honestly. As someone who's watched all of it, he really has had that great story arc and then gone beyond now. So it's just that matter of finding where he's going to be next. But I think it's cool seeing RDJ kind of, I don't know if he purposely came out to him, but like people don't say this shit without purpose. And it was like the next day. So, but either way, I love seeing that support from brethren, if you will. You know, it's like the way people do it the old days of Vikings and you know, or barbarians like Conan and
like Conan the Barbarian. Oh wait, no, wrong Conan.
That one?
Conan O'Brien's new show on Max. It's HBO. It's HBO. The new show on Max has 4 episodes out right now. Basically, Conan has taken on the world. First episodes, he travels to Norway, Thailand, Argentina, and Ireland.
And now, have you watched it? What do you think?
I watched 3 of them, I think. Yeah.
And
I like Conan. I was a big fan of the show. I thought he was a Dave, you know, I don't want to say 2.0, but he was definitely, you know, very Dave inspired with the wacky, you know, characters and skits and whatnot. But Conan took it to a new level, and big fan of his podcast too. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Like it. I saw it floating around, so I thought about watching it too. So, what is it on? Prime?
Max.
Crave. Yeah, Crave here. Crave, people use Crave. No,
Crave. You got to pay the extra $10 for Max.
Do you think The Rock is experiencing a downward spiral? A bit of a downward spiral?
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I mean, name his last movie and how recent was it?
Well, he's had a few out. Like, yeah, he's got Moana 2 coming out, live action version of it as well, where he's playing the lead character. But I know he's had some controversy, we'll say. Like when he went back to wrestling, people thought he kind of was getting a little too big for his britches, hopping into the ring and inserting himself into, you know, the main event at WrestleMania, which, you know, storyline. That's why I bought into it. I love it all. But now there's a new story coming out that Unilad had and Variety else had, saying that The Rock is being accused of causing $50 million of cost after turning up 8 hours late to film his new movie, the new Santa Claus movie with him, Chris Evans, and J. Jonah Jameson. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. He was in Oz.
Yeah.
Yep. We can see him. He plays Omni-Man.
I can't think of his
J.K.
name.
Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yes. You know, it's I hope it's I hope there's a reason why he was late, and I hope it's not like diva behavior or anything like that. Who knows? It's because I called him a diva? It's because I said diva?
No, he's not a diva.
No. Because
Please
he
don't
would
hurt me.
slap the shit out of both of us. But yeah, no, I don't know. I hope everything gets smoothed out, and I just hope you know me. I want everybody to be nice people. You know, I don't want to. Maybe he cost them money because he lost the script.
It does happen. Sometimes they get lost on purpose. An episode called "The Gun" or "The Bet" was never filmed. Basically got buried. A lot of the producers and a few of the cast thought that the theme of the episode was a little too dark, in which Elaine purchases a gun for protection. It was recently purchased by a Redditor who published the script, and yeah, I mean.
Yeah, well,
I don't really think it would have hurt the ratings of Seinfeld. I don't know what year that episode they had planned for it to come out, but I mean, if it was any earlier,
guns on any sitcoms, you know, it's not the first time they've had guns on sitcoms.
No,
you see it on Night Court every week.
Yeah, Different Strokes with what's his name cameoing there. Dice Clay as the Willis's bully.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a lot I missed in Different Strokes, honestly. I don't know why. It's a mystery, honestly. Time to get the mystery machine together. Speaking of the mystery machine, yeah, people just love Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo endures no matter what. Like, that's one of those franchises that every generation just attaches themselves to, that kind of has almost the same staying power, or does have the same staying power as wrestling, honestly. And now there's a Scooby-Doo live action television series in the work at Netflix. No idea who's working on it yet and whether it's going to be more serious or not. Mindy Kaling will not have anything to do with this one, but yeah. We're okay, Raggy. It could be all right. I mean, it could be all right. I'm going to wait and see, honestly. I hate Scooby-Doo. I don't understand how people can watch it. Well, because it curtails to people who are almost teenagers, I think. That's what it is. You know, and they got the you got the cool stoner, the cool stoner dog. You got the preppy jockey dude, you've got the girl heartthrob, and then you've got the nerdy girl. So you've got all the, you know, all the bases covered kind of for teenage angst at those years. I don't know, man. Who knows? Because it's a stoner dog. I'm practically 12. Can't deal with this dude. All right. And you got a Wrexham story here.
Yeah, Wrexham season 3 debuted on Thursday. There's, I believe, 2 episodes out right now that you can watch and stream. The team has been promoted for the 2nd season in a row under the ownership of Rob McElhaney and Ryan Reynolds. They are now going to be playing in League 2. But the team has lost $20 million since they've taken over ownership and actually owe the owners $9 million. So it's still a slow road.
Slow road to hoe. Didn't even know we weren't there.
But sports teams, man, they're money pits.
Well, but they've got the best marketer in the world.
If you're lucky, you make your fan base happy once every 30 years.
I hate you.
I've had my day in the sun. My Bengals are never winning it.
I know, and my day in the sun's going to be the Raptors. I got the Cubs and the Raptors. I'm like, damn, there's not even my two favorite sports. There's like although I do really like basketball. Yeah, man. All right. Call in the boys. We got our first trailer today for The Boys season 4, and we got these cool little posters a few days ago announcing that the new season will drop June 13th, and that trailer looked like bloody chaos. I can't wait. I need to know more about that chicken.
Right?
Chickens. Like, what the hell is going on with those chickens? If you don't know, please go watch.
The sound of that chicken.
What the? Not again. What is Frenchie talking about? I'm not doing this again. So yeah, I can't wait. The Boys is great. I wonder if they're gonna I'm sure we'll get some kind of written text at the beginning that'll acknowledge the passing of the kid from Gen X that passed away. I forget his name though, that died in the bike accident. But I wonder if they'll like mention it at all in the script at some point too. The Boys, nice, wholesome quality television, says Angler Files. Absolutely it is. And Aaron's still talking about the bear, said, see, that's the guy's response. Always needs more info. Well, no. That's called being the fair response. I need more context. I can't just make a life and death decision because it would be. And
what kind of bear are we talking about? Like a koala bear?
A koala bear, right? A panda bear. I mean,
grizzly bear, a polar bear,
like one of those water bears. Like, just saying, there's so many bears. No, that's a man thing. Yes, because men are analytical. Oh, I'm just kidding. I almost got in trouble. What was the thing Jack Nicholson said in What a Woman Wants? Like, how do you write a woman so well? I think of a man and I take away logic and reasoning. I'm so kidding. I'm not this sexist. It's Steve is the sexist one. Look at his picks. Not one woman on his Jedi list. All right. You know what? It feels like this is taking us about 28 years to get here. So next story.
It might be another 28 years. 28 years later, from Danny Boyle, the third movie in this franchise. We know that some of the cast members will be Ralph Fiennes, Jodie Comer, and Aaron Taylor Johnson,
who was just in the Fall Guy that just came out yesterday. Fun freaking movie. Really fun movie. I mean, a fun summer action movie. Don't bring your brain. Just go have fun and watch a lot of cool stunts. I like Aaron. He's really good. And he's going to be Kraven the Hunter in the Sony universe. But Sony's doing it, so it's going to be horrible. I don't make the rules. Tron. Yeah, Tron 3's coming. I'm really excited. Jeff Bridges is returning.
I'll watch it as soon as I watch the new Dune.
I've watched the new Dune. I actually didn't mind it. Wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't. I should say it wasn't great. It wasn't as awe-inspiring as everyone makes it out to be. For me, I thought it was good though. I thought it was really good. I thought the cinematography was fucking great, but it was still Dune. It was still Dune from when we were a kid, just a little more intense. Tron. Yeah, so that's coming. And you know, that's humane if you ask me.
Yeah, the new movie from Caitlin Cronenberg came out. This was her directorial debut. This daughter of famed director David Cronenberg.
Canadian.
Sorry?
Canadian,
yeah. This movie, wow. This was one of the other movies that I debated reviewing, but I didn't really want to give too much away in this one at all.
Is it messed up or what?
It was, yeah, it was really good. Definitely a lower budget film, but yeah, as you saw there in the cast, if you pick up again, yeah, Jay Baruchel, Peter Gallagher, Emily Hampshire, I wasn't familiar with, but she was great in it as well.
And Peter Gallagher, the greatest eyebrows in cinema history.
Yeah. No, it was really good. It was really weird. Not quite Brandon and David Cronenberg weird. If you've seen his latest movie, you know, he definitely just followed his father's footsteps. But this one, basically, it's the overpopulation has become a huge problem, and they're asking people to voluntarily end their life for the greater good of the planet. And
when people
there's a cash incentive as well. So,
but you can't take it with you.
Not for you, for your loved ones.
Fuck those people. I want to live.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Right on, man. Well, that's good. I'm glad you liked it. Are you a fan of gambling?
I bet you can't guess.
Dave & Buster's is now letting patrons bet on arcade games. So not only are they going to take your cash, they're like, we're going to trick you into thinking you have a chance of winning it back. What do you think about Dave & Buster's, though, letting patrons bet on arcade games? And should there be an age limit on this? Because this is now gambling, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there was a lot of controversy over bringing the casino back to GTA Online because you could purchase shark cards for the online play, which lets you purchase stuff. It's basically online money. And, you know, the thing was, are you going to be able to use it, the money you purchase with real money, or are you going to be able to use it at the casino? You know what I mean? So they eventually did come out with it, probably about 6 or 7 years into it. But Grand Theft Auto Online is just a beast. It just continues to make money.
Yeah, and every time, like, when stuff like this happens, I'm always like, if it gets too popular at this point, like the GTA money thing, you can't stop it. So now now you got to try to control it instead, and how do you do that, right?
I remember too, like do you remember when like the Skylanders came out, where it was basically you had to purchase the figure and put it on the transport in order to use it in the video game?
Yeah, which was
genius.
Yeah,
genius.
Yeah, but not gambling though. But not gambling.
No, not gambling. Not gambling.
It is what it is. Michelle Yeoh. You know who Michelle Yeoh is?
I do.
She received the Presidential Medal of Honor yesterday, actually, I believe, from President Biden. So good on you, Michelle Yeoh. I don't know what you need to do to get one of those, but I don't think she's American. I know she's from, I know she's Chinese. I think she may be from Hong Kong, though. And she says that she makes most of her permanent residence in Toronto. So, je ne sais pas. We got our first look at or not our first look, but we got another trailer today of The Acolyte. Did you see it? They dropped it.
I didn't watch it yet, though. I saw that it came out.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited to see the first Sith, as we see right up there. How cool. Would you be all right with Darth Revan being back that time? Was Revan from that era, or was he from, what era was Darth Revan from?
I'm not sure.
Is he pre or post Vader? Or pre or post Anakin, I guess. That's what I'd have to find out. I don't know. Somebody, if you know in the comments, please let us know. And then Game of Thrones MMORPG is coming out, reportedly in development. Not too much more did we find out yet, but it could be a good thing. But most time I find a lot of these games just know that are based on an IP like that. They don't They don't put the money that they do into the game like they do into the actual shows. The Harry Potter game was pretty good, but even that after a while got a little boring. And I'm not a big Harry Potter guy too, so that could be why. Hogwarts. Now that was the last story, but here's my question for you, and for anyone who may still be watching, and then we'll get out of here. What is your favorite Star Wars era? Are you a prequels guy? Are you a Clone Wars era guy? Are you a sequels era guy? Or are you a New Hope? So New Hope, that gives us, all the way from, as we see there, why can't I remember the name of it? My favorite Star Wars movie of them all, with Jyn Erso.
Rogue One.
Rogue One, thank you. Yeah, so it starts with Rogue One and ends with Return of the Jedi. Yeah, what would you say is your favorite? Obviously not the sequel.
Obviously not the sequels. It would be tough for me to pick between the originals like 4, 5, 6 and the prequels, because as much hate as they got, and I've always defended the movies and said, for a lot of people who are my age or maybe even a little older, because I was only like 1 or 2 when the first one came out. I didn't get to see it until they re-released it right before Empire came out when I was like 4 or 5. So there's that group of people that were a little older that watched Star Wars, and a lot of people hating on the prequels. They didn't make that movie necessarily for you. They're trying to attract the new generation of Star Wars fan. This is a product. This is something they need to continue to make money off of, especially considering how much they spend on it. And I took it for what it was. Mind you, I may have had some psychedelic help in the front row at the Penn Center Theaters for the Phantom Menace, but I really enjoyed all 3 of them. And what Jar Jar Binks is, I know we joke about it a lot, but he's genuinely one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, and that's probably the only thing you really like watching in the Clone Wars is his episodes. Why are you doing Meewad?
Very sad. Very sad.
Oh, I get it. You're doing fucking.
I'm doing Jar Jar Binks doing an impression of Meewad.
Oh, I didn't get that at all. I thought you were doing Skeeter from Muppet Babies.
Oh, gotcha. No, it was it was Gizmo from Gremlins.
That was my next one.
Yeah.
3 voices, 1 paycheck. So the reason why, we're not categorizing it. People do, because that's when they came out. So, but I'm with Steve though. I see this as, these were made for kids. Each iteration is made for a generation of children and made to grow up with those children, usually like for 3 movies, right? So,
like my son was in his teen year, mid-teen years, during the sequels, and he loved all 3 of them.
Yeah, and you know what? The sequels have their redeeming qualities as well.
Yeah, Force Awakens is a fantastic movie.
I agree. I think The Force Awakens is so much fun.
As much hate as The Last Jedi got, there was a lot more I enjoyed than I didn't like. So that's enough for me to sign off on that movie.
And that's me with Rise of the Skywalker. Or what was the last one? Rise of the Skywalker?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about that, like everybody else, was that she ended up being a relative of Palpatine. When I really and this was just because I called it from the beginning and I thought she was going to be a descendant of Ben Kenobi. And then we found out later, though, that she was supposed to be, until Rian Johnson came along and did Last Jedi, and then they switched it all up. Gotcha. But yeah, man.
Yeah, cool. No, I definitely liked more of both the third one than I did didn't. And the movie I shit on since the idea of it came about, the Han Solo movie, is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Yes, I know this about you.
The fact that we did not get a sequel and even a third one to that movie, we didn't get the story about him dropping the shipment from Java, which is where that was going. They totally foreshadowed it at the end. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and we even got, like, even for us Clone War fans, we got a Darth Maul shout out at the end. Well, I mean, it was the voice, it was the same voice actor, it was Sam Witwer, who does the voice of Darth Maul in the cartoon, and it was Ray Park who did the actual physical. So yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's my era. I think my favorite era is going to be is the Clone War era, just because that's the one that got me hooked. So
yeah, no, they were good movies, man.
Well, no matter what it is, whatever you folks out there like when it comes to Star Wars or any other kind of fandom out there, just enjoy it. And don't hate on anybody else for what they like or what they might not like.
Don't let your girlfriend tell you how stupid they are and how this would never happen in real life and why is it so gory and why do you watch these movies and what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you don't need that kind of negativity.
These are just examples.
But the gore, can we get back to the gory part? And folks, if there is one thing that I could say, or at least sum up in a meme when it comes to Star Wars, it's this. I'd say may the fourth be with you and mean it, but only dorks watch Star Wars. Us real folks watch Star Trek. Live long and prosper, everyone.